Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Daryl here, and the big news of the week was Fender launching their brand new American Ultra Series guitar. So the tagline for this launch was, "Never play a Fender the same way again." And being the rather optimistic fellow that I am, I'm thinking maybe they're finally addressing some of the weaknesses, some of the disparity in features amongst the middle tier of their instruments. Now in that price range from $500 to $1,000, Fender is getting absolutely destroyed. Amazing offerings from Ibanez, from Schecter, from PRS SE, from Music Man Sterling, and on and on and on it goes. Every company is offering these advanced features that Fender just launched. So consider this guitar as an example of what's happening to Fender. This is the Schecter PT Special. I reviewed it 2 weeks ago. Contour right here that Fender just launched. Contour here, not as rounded as Fender, but it's contoured. Belly cut, binding, beautiful burst, great pickups, brass hardware on the saddles, series parallel switching, and Fender wants me to spend $2,500 for this. Now, admittedly, here in Canada, we do get screwed over on guitar prices. It's probably going to be about $2,000 in the States. But yeah, $2,500, $2,600 for us. Now, this is stuff other manufacturers have been doing for over a decade. Now, is it great that Fender refreshed their upper tier of instruments? Sure, I guess. But how many people does that actually impact? So who exactly is going to buy this guitar? You need to find somebody who wants to spend more than an American professional, but less than the custom shop. You need to find somebody who likes the sound of, noiseless pickups and wants modern playability. I think that slice is going to be fairly small, and people who are going to spend, $2,000 to $2,500 on a Fender, I don't think you're going to be stealing customers from Sir either, especially when you consider the woods and the finishes compared to other manufacturers in that upper range of guitars where you can get flame tops, insane bursts, gold hardware if you want to, all different, variety of options. Fender has trotted out some bursts and a couple new solid finishes that apparently other reviewers are going nuts over. For me, it's just not compelling at all. Another example of how this misses the mark for me is this $700 Shiji that I demoed a while back. We're talking about a quarter sawn roasted maple neck with a flame maple skunk stripe. Now I don't expect, Fender to be able to match, Chinese prices, but when you're in an upper tier of Fender, do something special with your guitars, not just the same old with some contours. And don't even get me started on stainless steel frets. I think I'll be dead before I ever see them on a Fender. Now, perhaps at this point, somebody's yelling at the camera, "Yes, Daryl, but they have the new noiseless pickups." Yeah, well, every 3 or 4 years, they add a new generation of noiseless pickups that are, you guessed it, the best ever. All they did is re-EQ them to take some of the mids out, add some extra highs, called them brand new. So we know we have examples of $500, $600, $700 guitars with the same features of this Fender Ultra. We're talking about flat, fast-playing fingerboards. We're talking about great neck profiles, great trim systems, contours all over, amazing sounding pickups. So why am I paying this massive upcharge for that Fender logo? Now, I know the bigger the company, the slower it moves. I mean, it took us 30 years to get the Mexican Standard into the Player Series and finally get Alnico pickups and 22 frets. So that being said, I know I'm asking for the moon, but here's what I'd like to see from Fender. So here's what I was really hoping with this big announcement. I was hoping that Fender was finally going to consolidate some of their mishmash of vintage, of modern, of all these different specialty spin-offs and stuff, and just consolidate into a vintage line and an ultra line across all price points. So I'm talking about a Squire Vintage and a Squire Ultra, a Made in Mexico Vintage, a Made in Mexico Ultra, American Professional Vintage Ultra, and Elite Vintage and Ultra. That's what I was hoping for from this big announcement. I guess I should be ready for disappointment. I really do think that that's what consumers want. They want the choice between classic Fender and something a little bit more modern. You can still, of course, do exclusive colors. You can do hardware upgrades. You can do pickup upgrades. You can do finish upgrades, all sorts of ways to kind of differentiate from each series, just like they do now, right? There's differences between the Squires, the Players, the Professionals, and now the Ultra. They find ways to differentiate it, but I would love to offer that playing experience choice to consumers. So let me and let Fender know if you like this idea by dropping a comment in the video description below. Are you excited about the new model? Are you like me and you're hoping for something a little bit more wide scoping and encompassing? I'd love to hear what you guys think. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so, you can do that on the screen right now. The rest of my information will be up there. You can check out the t-shirt store, the tab store, all that stuff in the video description below. Other than that, have an awesome week, you guys. Take care.